to my video. In this video, I wanna explain to you my material about translation period, popular ballad, and mother daughter. Let's check it out. Okay, for the first is translation period. Judge Steiner and after Babel divided the literature of the theory, practice, and history of translation divided into four periods. The first is first period. This period starts with Roman. Eric Jacobson goes so far as to hyperbolically propound that translation is a Roman invention. Translation is as old as language itself. This period concludes by Tytler's definition of good translation as that in which the meaning of the original word is so completely transfused into another language as to be as distinctly apprehended and as strongly felt by a native of the country to which that language belongs, as it is by those who speak and language of the original word. From the definition, Tytler introduced three laws. The first is translation should give a complete transcript of the original word. The second, style and manner of writing should be of the same character with that of original. And the last three, the translation should have all the S of original in position. Next is second period. It is characterized as a period of theory and hermeneutic inquiry with the development of vocabulary and methodology of approaching translation. Hermeneutic is an interpretive approach developed by German Romantic and named after the Greek word hermenein, meaning to understanding. So hermenein is mean to understand, like that. One of the early theories in this period is the French humanist Etienne Dolet. How to translate well from one language to another language, and establish 5 principles for the translator. The first is the translator must fully understand the sense and meaning of the original author. Also, he or she is at liberty to clarify obscurities. And the second is translator should have a perfect knowledge of both SL and TL. And the third, the translator should avoid word for word rendering. And fourth, the translator should use form of speech in common use. And the last, translator should choose and order words appropriately the correct tone. Next is third period. This period, which is the shortest as it extends to less than 3 decades, start with the publication of the first paper on science translation in the 1940s and is characterized by the introduction of structural and applied linguistics, constructive study in morphology and syntax. And the last is fourth period. The last period coexists with the third period as it originated in the early 1960s, and it's characterized by a recourse to hermeneutic inquiries into translation that sets the discipline in a wide frame which includes a number of other disciplines. For the next explanation is popular ballad. Ballad is a form of verse, often a narrative set to music. Ballad derived from the medieval French canción, ballade, or ballad, which were originally dance songs. Ballads were particularly characteristic of the popular poetry and songs British and song Britain and Ireland from the later medieval period until the 19th century. Key work on the traditional ballad was undertaken in the 19th century in Denmark by Stephen Gunfried and for England and Scotland by the Harvard professor Francis James Child. They attempt to record and clarify all the known ballads and variants in their chosen regions. Since Child did before writing a commentary on his work, it is uncertain exactly how and why he differentiated the 3005 ballads printed that would be published as the England as Scottish popular ballad. There have been many different and contradictory attempts to clarify traditional ballad by them, but commonly identified types are the religious, supernatural, tragic, love ballad, historic, legendary, and humorous. The traditional form and content of the ballad were modified to form the basis for 23 bawdy pornographic ballads that appeared in the under, underground Victorian magazine The Fair, which ran for 18 issues between 1879 and 1880. Unlike the traditional ballad, these obscene ballads aggressively mock sentimental nostalgia and local lore. The subject matter varied from what has been defined as the traditional ballad. Also, many traditional ballads were printed as broadsides. Among the topics were love, marriage, religious, drinking songs, legend, and early journals, which include disasters, political events, and signs, wonders, and prodigies. And the last explanation is mother-daughter. In the Mother of Britain, Igraine is the mother of King Arthur. She is also known in Latin as Igraine, in Welsh as Aig, in French as Grain, in Thomas Malory's Le Morte Arthur as Grain, often modernized as Igraine or Igraine, and in Wolfram von Escanbeck's Parsifal as Arnif. She becomes the wife of Uther Pendragon. But her first husband was Gorlias. Her daughters by Gorlias are Elaine, Morgause, and Morgan le Fay. Merlin taking away the infant Arthur from Igraine. According to Geoffrey, Igraine also bore a daughter, Anna, referred to as Morgause in other works, to Uther Pendragon, and this Anna later becoming the mother of Gawain and Mordred. Yet Geoffrey also refers to King Hugh of Brittany as Arthur's nephew and present a prophecy, and to Uther's daughter will be born a line of seven skin. Sometimes something true if Hugh is Anna's son, but not true if only Gawain or Mordred are Anna's sons. There is confusion here. especially as was genealogists name and Anna as whose murder, but one not connect to Uther Pendragon. Just it from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.